Hi, I'm Vaidatas, and in this video we'll learn what is UX design, its main aspects, and take a sneak peek at a day of a UX designer. Let's get started. User experience design is the process of creating a seamless experience throughout the entire user journey. The term user experience itself was first used in 1993 by Don Norman, an expert in cognitive science. He came up with the term while working for Apple. At first, his main purpose was to boost the industrial design of Apple's products by enabling users to set up and use computers easily. But UX design also applies to physical interactions and non-digital objects, meaning it exists in every aspect of our lives, from the lighting used in a restaurant to the checkout process in an e-commerce shop. But today, we'll talk about UX design for digital products such as websites, apps, and software. The goal of UX design is to create a product or service that meets the user's needs, solves their problems, and creates an overall enjoyable experience. You might be thinking those are only intangible goals, but for every dollar invested in UX design, companies get a return of investment between $2 and $100. So, how to create a good UX design? There are 4 aspects to consider. First, usable. Remember that the main goal of UX design is to create the best user experience, so a good UX design helps users solve their problems and achieve their goals without issues. Second, it needs to be useful. The product or service should fulfill a gap in the market and have a clear purpose. If it doesn't bring any value to the table, the product won't be successful and your UX efforts won't help. Third, the product should be desirable. Yes, in UX design, appearance matters. The product must be visually appealing and match the company's branding. Visual components can also keep users engaged and help create a positive experience. Fourth, accessible. A great UX design should provide an enjoyable experience for a wide range of users. Even if someone has a visual or motor impairment, they should get equal access to the product service. Now that we've discussed the main concepts behind a great UX design, let's check out some practical samples. Have you ever heard about a Norman door? Yes, it is named after Don Norman and refers to doors with bad user experience. We know that doors have 2 end states, open and closed, so we should know immediately from the context what to do. But if you have to guess whether you should push or pull, or you can't even locate the knob, the door was poorly designed. Instead of improving the user experience, it confuses users. Now, let's check an example of a good UX design on the internet. When accessing Sephora's website, instead of being instantly overwhelmed with tons of products, customers are greeted with 3 main categories. But if the product you're looking for doesn't belong to any of the categories, you have the option to explore the top menu or use the search bar. Both are instantly recognizable and easy to find. Once you locate the product you want, you'll find detailed information about its price, along with product pictures and versions available. Scrolling further down, you'll find what's on the product and its usage instructions. There is also a forum for users to share their experiences with the product. The goal here is to provide an experience as similar as possible as shopping at a physical store, when you would have staff to help you. The checkout process is also straightforward. The shipping options are clearly listed, and the call to action "Add to basket" uses a contrasting color, making it easy to know what to do next. To create a good UX design like the one we just saw, designers should implement a design thinking process. According to the Institute of Design at Stanford, the design thinking process has 5 stages: empathize, define, ideate, prototype, and test. The empathize step is about understanding the target audience. During this stage, UX designers conduct user research to gain insights from the customer's perspective. The data can be collected through interviews, surveys, and other methods. After collecting data, a UX designer analyzes it and defines the goals users want to achieve or the core problems they need to solve. Then, designers create user personas to represent the target audience during the UX design process. Personas also help designers understand the user flow from start to finish and create a sitemap based on it. The third stage is ideation. UX designers brainstorm and generate design ideas based on different touchpoints of the customer journey. For instance, UX designers will answer questions like, how to design a website optimized for different screen sizes, or how to improve the interaction design of a website. The next step is creating a prototype of the final product. Simple paper sketches or even website test pages are examples of prototypes. UX designers use a method called wireframing to arrange the information architecture of the prototype. After that, they can use the prototype to conduct user testing and collect user feedback. After finalizing all phases, UX designers must present the findings to the clients, the company stakeholders, or the design team. Once approved, they'll collaborate with UI designers, interaction designers, and web developers to execute these ideas. Now that you've learned about UX design, are you interested in becoming a user experience designer? Questions like, what kind of task will I do? Who will I work with? What kinds of challenges will I face? Probably come to your mind. To give you great answers, I've talked to a UX designer here at Hostinger, and I will share what an average day of a UX designer looks like. To begin with, you'll help implement the design thinking process we just discussed. But your exact task will depend on the company where you're working. Generally, there are two specialties: UX researcher, who focuses on conducting research, and UX designer, who translates the research results, streamlining the process from wireframe creation, testing, and prototyping to launching. Large corporations might have different people working on specific roles, like a UX designer focused on user experience and the testing stage, another designer focused on the prototyping stage, and an interaction designer for prototyping and testing. Meanwhile, smaller organizations might hire one designer for all UX design related tasks. Still, a UX designer's daily task will be basically finding any problems in the customer journey and creating solutions for them. But keep in mind that a UX designer isn't only responsible for creating new products. They also need to evaluate existing products according to the company's goals and metrics. For instance, if a product starts to perform poorly, the product team will initiate an evaluation process based on feedback from existing customers. This will help designers find the core problem and decide how to improve the product's UX, and eventually reach the company's goals. As you can see, launching a design requires a decent amount of collaboration with other teams and a lot of interviews, meetings, presentations, and discussions to reach a final design. Therefore, you'll need to think analytically and systematically, be empathetic, and be a great team player to become a good UX designer. In terms of hard skills, a user experience designer should know visual design, which is a general understanding of graphic design, interaction design, and information architecture. User research, conducting or analyzing different research methods such as user interviews, focus groups, and surveys to gain insights into the target audience. Data analysis, the ability to process raw data and extract critical information to help with decision making. And prototyping, the process of creating a sample for testing purposes and receiving user feedback on how to improve the product or service. And the good news is, you don't really need a degree to become a UX designer. Anyone can become one by studying the basics and having the qualities mentioned, which is also your main challenge, learning constantly and consistently. Since the UX design industry is very dynamic, there are a lot of updates every day. As our UX designer said here at Hostinger, a day in my life as a UX designer is a learning day. In addition to UX design courses and boot camps, network. It's a great idea to look for a mentor to get insights and discuss any problems you face pursuing this career. And finally, keep in mind that when you apply for a UX design role, you'll need to present a relative experience and designing skills through a portfolio. And if you need any help with that, make sure to check out our video on how to create a portfolio website with WordPress. To recap, UX design is the process of creating a seamless experience throughout the entire user journey. To create a good UX design, there's a long process that involves cross-team interactions and brainstorming. On top of all, the user's needs should be the #1 priority. Now that you know all about it, are you interested in becoming a UX designer? Don't forget to connect with experts, find a mentor, and create an amazing portfolio. If you find this video helpful, don't forget to hit the like button and share it with your friends. For more videos like this, subscribe to the Hostinger Academy YouTube channel. I'll see you in the next video.